Hello, everybody. My name is Graham Elwood, and you are watching The Political Vigilante. Well, I'm a huge fan of Cornel West for numerous reasons, because he's always someone that speaks the truth. Here's something he said in 1993 on Charlie Rose, talking about liberals.
Of liberals in America and in their analysis of race in America.
Well, I think the problem often is that liberals at times tend to be spineless milquetoast, which is to say that they're not paternalistic. The degree to which they act on their convictions is often quite weak, and that they refuse to acknowledge the degree to which America remains so deeply shaped by corporate elites and bank elites in this country. The liberals think that somehow the distribution of wealth in place can provide the background conditions for inclusion of others, so that the pie would get bigger, so that economic growth by means of corporate priority can remain in place. And I think the liberals are at times allies, at times they're unreliable allies. So I don't want to just whitewash them, as it were. But you've got to proceed quite cautiously with liberals.
Boy, they're not going to like to hear you say that. No, that brings me to...
You've got to proceed quite cautiously with liberals. Cornel West said that. Talk about economically. And this is the same. This is 93. And we're still hearing some of them. More people are waking up. We're still hearing one of these neoliberals. Like, oh, the free market, corporate. He talks about the economy. We just make the pie a little bit bigger. It's the same thing in Hollywood, man. It's the same thing. The Hollywood neoliberals are, oh, believe all women, unless they accuse Joe Biden, because Joe Biden might help their money, might protect their money. I mean, Malcolm X said that back in the 60s too. And that's when this insanity that Joe Biden, look, Trump is awful. I don't want to see him as president. I don't like him as president, but the liberals, the neoliberals, let him happen. They refuse this, what he said, the milquetoast. They get all mad about Trump. Okay, rightfully so, but then they let the Democratic Party cheat, steal, corrupt, on, and they won't stand up for it. They won't do it. They won't stand up. Because ultimately they're like, you know, they don't want to call it the Democratic Party. They wanted to blame everything in 2016 on Russia. Bernie just got cheated several months ago, and Bernie wouldn't even stand up. Like Cornel said, they're an ally, but you got to be cautious. You got to be suspicious of them being an ally. That's like... And then, because here is another thing, and this is what I want to show you. This is Joe Biden's racism exposed by Malcolm X. This was put out by Politisoup. This just shows you
liberal members of the United States Congress.
That white person that you see calling himself a liberal is the most dangerous thing in the entire Western Hemisphere.
Now, I'm like the token black.
He's the most deceitful. He's like a fox. And a fox is always more dangerous in the forest than the wolf.
You ain't black.
But the fox will fool you. He comes at you with his mouth shaped in such a way that even though you see his teeth, you think he's smiling.
See, I went to the big guys for the money.
They send prostitution down here to pacify it.
I was ready to prostitute myself.
You've been had.
They're gonna put you all back in chains.
You've been took.
Poor kids are just as bright and just as talented as white kids.
You've been hoodwinked.
We have predators on our streets.
Bamboozled.
They are beyond the pale, many of those people.
Led astray.
We have no choice but to take them out of society.
Run amok.
I've been involved in civil rights my whole career. Period.
I came out of the civil rights movement. I was one of those guys that sat in and marched and all that stuff.
I was not out marching. I was not down in Selma. I was not anywhere else. I was not an activist. I worked at an all-black swimming pool.
If you used pomade in your hair, you had to wear a bathing cap.
The Democrats have been in Washington, D.C. only because of the Negro vote.
I was in a caucus with James O. Eastland, Biden said. He never called me boy. He always called me son.
You put them first and they put you last. Because you're a chump.
At least there was some civility. We got things done.
And still they can't keep their promise to you. Because you're a chump.
Joe has a terrible history in the black community.
A political chump.
I got my education for real in the black church. And that's not hyperbole, it's a fact.
We choose truth over facts.
He was a friend, and he was a mentor, and he was a guide.
You're not only a chump, but you're a traitor to your race.
There's not a racist bone in my body.
Boy, that's when you gotta really love the internet, man. Because it's all on record. And Biden and all the corporate Democrats are banking on the fact that the corporate media won't show any of those clips. Someone at Politisoup, the at Politisoup, has to put that together, brilliantly cut between Malcolm X and the actual Malcolm X movie with Denzel Washington, which is a great film. I suggest reading it. I read the Malcolm X biography, the autobiography. And in a lot of these protests for George Floyd these last couple weeks, and I've been to 3 or 4 of them now, they say get out and vote, which is, yeah, I always say get out and vote, but I'm just like, don't think the Democratic Party is going to come save you. Joe Biden wrote the 1994 crime bill. I've done videos on all these big blue Democratic mayors were the ones that are like, I don't know if we should defund the police. Eric Garcetti, boy, I don't know. The D.C. mayor paints Black Lives Matter on the road to the White House, but then increases the budget for the police department. I mean, watch out. It's what we've been talking about. And I'm not, and people might see this as, oh, Graham, you think that these white nationalists aren't that big of a deal. No, they are. They're awful. They're scary. They're crazy. They're violent. They're heavily armed. My point is, the neoliberal has gotten in the way of us actually fixing all these problems because they won't address working people. They ultimately don't want everyone to have free college. They don't want free health care. They don't want, I mean, they liberals get in the way of all of this. I've said this before, and then the identity politics that we've had over the last 20 years. If Hillary Clinton was a man with the exact same, give me a white guy with the exact same record. No one. Nope. And now it's like even Obama dropped more bombs than Bush. Kamala Harris put 120,000 black people behind bars. It's unbelievable. So the neoliberals are the ones that have caused most of the problems. Because the white nationalist conservatives, those like hardcore racist Klan members, they're scary, but they're not that many. Look at the numbers of the protests. All those Second Amendment people that showed up on a handful of Capitol buildings in a handful of states, to all those white people with their guns open up the country, right? Roughly 3 weeks before George Floyd was murdered. And then the whole country, every city in all 50 states, 18 countries around the world, all were like, enough. Black Lives Matter and police brutality. You got to wake these neoliberals up to the fact that any blue will do. They know that's the problem. And when I bring it out on this show, I get criticized. They're literally blaming the messenger. Don't get mad at me because the Democratic Party sucks. I hope these protests really understand and go after the whole system, including the Democratic Party, which is a part of this corrupt system. Malcolm X said it in the 60s. The Democratic Party takes the black vote for granted. He said, you're chumps. Those aren't my words. Those are his. Thanks for getting your news here, folks. I'm just trying to show you the truth that the corporate media won't show you. Shave your knuckles for justice. Hey, everybody. Like, share, and subscribe. Hit the bell notification button and the subscribe button, even if you've done it before, because they're unsubscribing, many of you, every day. Watch the ads all the way through. If you click skip ad, I don't get paid. Also, support us at patreon.com/Graham Elwood or rockfin.com/Graham Elwood. Rockfin.com is a blockchain cryptocurrency platform. All my videos are on Rockfin ad-free. Thanks for watching.